record this. Okay, excellent. Well, first of all, welcome. I just want to welcome everybody to the call. My name is Steve, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself here in just a moment. But you're here to find out a little bit about Top Agent Referral. And just to let you know, we have revolutionized the real estate business, similar to what Uber did in the taxi business or Airbnb did in the vacation rental business. We've kind of done that similar type thing in the real estate business, because now you can earn money in real estate without a real estate license, and it works from anywhere as long as you have an internet connection and a phone service, and all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska. So it's a great opportunity here. I hope you really enjoy the presentation. I'm excited about this business. And as it says, make sure you open the chat. I'm also going to put in the chat here, if you can let me know what interested you in the opportunity. Most people usually attend these things because they saw an ad. I have ads on Craigslist and things like that. Or maybe they talked to somebody about it and somebody referred them to the business. I just like to know what piqued your interest. What made you curious to find out more about this opportunity? If you can put that in the chat, that'll also help me know kind of where to address things with you. Okay, excellent. Well, let's get started. As I mentioned, if you have questions, you can unmute yourself. I will continue through the process of the presentation, so many of those will get answered along the way. However, if you put it in the chat, I'll make sure I get back to it as well. Okay. So, the real estate brokerage industry in the United States. Many of you may know there, or maybe you don't, there are 450,000 closings every single month in the United States. These are the sold homes. Now, these are only agent-assisted transactions and only residential real estate. So if it was between a family member selling it to another family member and they didn't involve an agent, or if it was a for sale by owner or something like that, those would not be included in this 450,000 sales every single month. Also, this is only residential real estate, so if it was a commercial property, lot, land, that kind of thing, those are not included as well. So this is only residential real estate. 450,000. I want to try and get you, if you aren't aware, I want to give you a little insight into how big this industry really is. So that 450,000 closings every month translates to 200 billion with a B paid out in real estate commissions to these real estate companies, these agents, every single year. Okay, 2 billion. That's more than some small countries' economic structure. Okay, so it's a lot of money in this industry. Until now, only licensed agents had access to that money. So this is a little bit about me. This is me over here with my first house. I was in the real estate. I was a real estate agent for 3 years. I owned a mortgage brokerage for 8 years prior to that. This is my building here, my business. Rocky Mountain Mortgage was the name of it, and then we partnered with Wellington Realty to provide those services for a while. This is me and my wife, and this is me, like I said. After that, I went on and I owned a consulting business, a consulting company where I trained people and developed companies and so forth. Through these opportunities, and especially when I owned the mortgage company and the real estate company, I worked a ton of hours, 60 to 80 hours a week. I worked weekends, holidays. There were times I missed my kids' performances at school, different things like that, because I just had to be at the mercy of my clients, right? If they needed to see a home, I needed to get them in and see that home right away. If there was a problem, I needed to drop what I was doing and go fix the problem. And so it was very labor intensive. And because of that, you'll see in a while, I ended up having, myself and my wife ended up having health issues that we needed to actually close down the businesses and go into another avenue, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But we basically worked ourselves to death for about 10 years straight. The industry problem as a whole is it's easy to get a real estate license. It is low cost, especially compared to getting a university degree, something along those lines. It also only takes about 2 to 3 months of schooling and passing a test. And so it's very simple to get into the real estate business as a real estate agent. And as a result, 90% of the real estate agents shouldn't even be in the profession. Most of them never even complete one transaction their entire time in the business. And that generates unhappy consumers. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some outstanding agents out there, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but most of them are not great, and they don't do the best job for their clients. The solution is Top Agent Referral. Top Agent Referral simply connects buyers and sellers with the two top agents. It's a free service, completely free. They don't have to open their pocketbook whatsoever. There is no obligation. They can decide not to use this at any time. And it is specific to the property type. So if it is a commercial building, it's specific to that. If it is a a starter home, it's specific to that. If it's a high-end home, it's specific to that. It's also specific to the neighborhood, right? And so a lot of times in your larger cities, your Oregon, in Portland, Oregon, or in Los Angeles, California, or New York City, New York, you'll have an agent that is very good, kind of umbrella, shotgun over the whole city, but they aren't very good in this pocket or in that neighborhood. They don't know the idiosyncrasies of these different areas. We get it specific to the neighborhood and who is performing the best in that neighborhood and with that specific property type. We only work with happy clients as a result because they've worked with the top professionals specific to the property that they're selling. So let's take a look at some testimonials. I'm going to take you over here to my personal website. This is my website. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, but let's go to the testimonials here. And in the follow-up, I'll get you access to, I'll share my link with you to my website, and you'll be able to look around and check it out for yourself. So this one right here, this is David Maney. He was a seller in Kansas City, and he says that the agent that Top Agent Referral sent to us was one of the best agents I have worked with. He used techniques to not only shoot amazing photos, but a video that really showed off the house online. This generated huge numbers, which led to great offers. And so he helped him understand the market, the process, and all of that. It's great. This one down here from, this is a Washington, Jeremy Ray, and he was a buyer. He said, this guy is the real deal. He came to our place and pitched us as if we were millionaires. He's in the top 2% of all agents in Berkshire Hathaway. And I told him our modest budget, and it didn't faze him. So that is the level of service that we require from the agents that we work with, and that we come to expect, and that we provide our clients. All right, 1 second here. All right, and then there's additional you can look at later if you'd like, but that's just a couple of testimonials. So this is the traditional method that most people go about trying to find a real estate agent. So they'll remember most of the time you go off of a referral from somebody else, or maybe somebody they know. So they end up using their next door neighbor who decided to get into real estate, or their hairdresser that sells real estate on the side. And they oftentimes don't end up with the best agent. And this is kind of an example of that. So the little blue section right up here are the top 10% of homes. Now, if you look statistically, the top agents sell homes for higher prices than the average agents do, that top 10%. So most people get kind of a shotgun approach, and they end up landing somewhere in this 90%, where only a few will actually hit that 10% and get the best deal. This is on those 450,000 homes every month. So what we do is we simply connect those clients with the top agents every single time. And it's a free service, no obligation, only the top agents in all 50 states. So as I mentioned, this is what the website looks like. You can go through here. Each of our sales representatives gets a website just like this created for them. This is how we track our buyers and sellers, all of our clients. And actually the full address for me is vp.topagentreferral.com. Okay, so you'll see it has customized with my name and contact information. I send my clients here, and they register as a buyer or a seller, and it is a very simple form. They simply complete the form. That information gets sent to Top Agent Referral, and then they find the agents, and we'll get into that a little bit more in depth. There's some more information here about Top Agent Referral that they can look at, as well as our proprietary screening process and a couple of the key metrics where we start narrowing in on those professionals. Now, this isn't the full screening process. There is additional steps that go into it, but that gives us a place to start to get into that top 10% and then further narrow down to the 2 best agents for that property. So by sending a client through our website, a buyer or seller, where we're able to track it, this is an example of what happens for, this is a $410,000 home. And so the payout for that for our members is $1,250. Now, to receive that compensation, you need to complete 3 very simple tasks. The first one is connect them to your personal top agent referral website, such as this, have them register as a buyer or as a seller. Once they do that, their information is forwarded to Top Agent Referral, and Top Agent Referral will then do their screening process and make sure that the two top agents can contact them within 24 to 48 hours to schedule a time to meet with them. If they can't meet with, give them a call or contact them in 48 hours, we go to the next person on the list. Um, Once the client has had a chance to meet with that agent, both agents, we simply contact them and confirm that they are happy and they've chosen to work with one of those two agents that we sent out. Now, these are the two top agents, and they do a great job at selling themselves. Uh, but in the event, for some reason, they didn't hit it off with either of the agents, we can send additional agents if need be. But once we confirm that they're happy, we don't need to do anything till closing. However, this space right here is the perfect opportunity to generate referral business, because once one person's buying or selling a home, everybody they talk to wants to buy or sell a home. And so this is actually a great time for referral business. However, we don't have to do anything until closing for our compensation. And then once the transaction closes, we complete a simple survey with them, um, asking them specifically about the agent that was used and their experience with that agent. This helps incentivize us to continue to send out the top agents every single time. And if we get a negative report, it is more than likely that we will not use that agent again. So for completing those three tasks, the member receives $1,250. Excuse me. So here's how the money flows. Now, the company that I work for and that you're checking out here is actually LUMALLIE. LUMALLIE is the marketing company behind Top Agent Referral. So, um, LUMALLIE members, if you chose to join my team today, you make that connection of a buyer, and once again, this is based off of a $410,000 home. You simply connect them to your website, your personalized Top Agent Referral website, confirm they're happy, and take the survey after closing, those three tasks we talked about earlier. And Top Agent Referral, the real estate company, then pays LUMALLIE $1,850 for those services. Now, LUMALLIE then turns around and takes that and splits it 7 ways. First, to the member that made the direct connection, the buyer or seller, and then to 6 other team members that they're involved in. Okay, and we'll get more into the building the teams here in just a moment. It's similar to a brokerage situation, but we'll look at that in a moment. Now, I want to be absolutely clear here. We do not get paid for referring buyers and sellers. We do not practice any real estate activities. We simply get paid to perform the 3 tasks here, these 3 marketing tasks for Top Agent Referral. Many of you on the call, or you may have heard that it is illegal for a real estate agent to pay a non-licensed pay a commission to a non-licensed person, and that is true. And that is why we do not uh, practice any real estate, and we do not get paid for referring buyers or sellers. We simply perform marketing tasks. Okay, so a couple more testimonials from members this time. And so this is TJ Grant. He heard a coworker talking about buying or selling a house, told him about Top Agent Referral, and he got him connected. He said he spent about an hour talking with him and answering questions and will make $750. Another one here, this is Jason Cady, I believe. Yes, Jason Cady. He shared with a coworker as well, um, directed him to his website, talked him through the process, and the feedback he got from his was that the one that you read earlier, the testimony of the agent that was the real deal. So he was completely blown away, and it was a very simple process. All right. Oh, why is this not? One second. I've got my. There we go. Oops. So there we go. So fact. This is a simple fact. It's usually pretty well known that everybody knows people who are buying and selling real estate. And so I want you just to think right now, how many people do you know who have either bought or sold home in the last 3 years, or is currently buying or selling a home? And put those numbers together and put them in the chat and let us know how many people you know in the last 3 years, as well as currently right now, that are buying or selling a home. Oops, I didn't do Meant to do that to everyone. I actually sent a private one. There we go. Boom. Just put the number together. How many in the last 3 years and how many currently? This is without any marketing, without any, just people that you know of who have bought or sold a home. Ten plus in the last 3 years, 2 currently. Excellent. So that's 12 total. Anyone else want to chime in? All right. Well, so you know, Shannon, that's our average commission is about $1,000, and so that would be roughly $12,000 in the last 3 years. 5 and 1, so total of 6 for the other person that answered. They sent it to me privately, but that's okay. And so that's about $6,000 right there, without even trying, without marketing or anything. All right. Well, let's continue on. So now you can earn money by helping those same people that you know of in the past 3 years, and now you can help them when they come to buy a new home or people going forward, and they will make the most amount of money. So you can now earn money for helping them get the most amount of money for the sale of their home or negotiate the best deal for a purchase, and everyone wins. Additionally, most people live paycheck to paycheck in the United States. It is a 2 to 3 income household for the most part. And so massive wealth is created in this industry, however. And so you saw the the $2 billion that's paid out in commissions. You saw 450,000 transactions every month in the U.S. And remember, we are in all 50 states, and you are not limited to your geographic area. There are 200 million people in the U.S. between the ages of 18 and 64, and the average, and all of those 200 million want to make extra money. The average person in this company can easily help 6 to 12 buyers and sellers per year. So that's one every 2 to 3 months. So here's an example of how the money works. So you make your home connect here and you receive your $1,250. That's 1 month. And then let's say you do that 3 times in 1 month, you would make $313. Oops, this is incorrect. What happened here? My slides got messed up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that breaks down to $313 a month because we've divided out monthly. If you did these 5 transactions in a year, that would break down to $521 a month. And then 10 buyers and sellers, which is, as a real estate agent, you can do 10 buyers or sellers, is a really good month. But let's say you did 1 per month with Top Agent Referral, you would make $15,000 a year. Simply 1 a month. All you have to do is put them through your Top Agent Referral website as a buyer or seller. So this is an example of how successful some of our members have been. This member here connected a buyer at $540,000 and a seller at $975,000 in her first week. This is a best case scenario. Not all of our agents work this way, our members work this way rather, but it just goes to show it is possible. Once the transaction closed, she earned $1,250 for the first property and $2,250 for the second transaction. So a total of $3,500. And she said it only took her about 20 minutes worth of work. Now, some of you on this webinar will want more than just being able to connect 1 or 2 people every month or 2. And so we give you the opportunity to earn passive income by helping the company grow through network marketing. So part-time income is great, but passive income is even better. And so this is the same concept that real estate brokers use. So you'll know in the standard real estate world, you'll have a broker who's over the whole office, and then he'll have his agents under them. And so he receives override income off of the agents. Similar to that, you can receive override income off of the people you bring into the business and show how to connect buyers and sellers to their websites. So here's an example of how that works. You can share the business. So you get your direct connects for the people, your clients that you send through. You'll receive your $1,250. But then, let's say the first row below you, you go out and you find 3 people who want to make money just like you. These 3 people each make their $1,250 connection, and each of them, each time they do that, you get $100 each, so $300 would come to you. Doesn't sound very impressive, but watch how this works. Let's say those 3 people go out and find 3 people each themselves. Now that ends up being $900 every month that's coming at you. And then let's say that each of those 3 find 3 more, so 9 times 3, 27 members, $2,700 a month, and then it just keeps going with the multiplication and the compounding effect to where once you get to the 6th level, your members are making, there's 729 members, and that's $72,900 a month. Now, it does take some time to build your teams out this way, but it is very, very possible. With each member only helping 1 buyer or seller per month, 1 through 6 levels, that's $109,200 per month, only 12 transactions a year. But let's say you're not able to do that. Let's say your team only does 6 transactions a year on average. You'd be at $54,600 a month or $655,000 a year. But let's say they only do 3 transactions per year. 3 per year. That's less than 1 a quarter. That would be 25% of that is $27,300 per month, $327,000 a year. That's once you get your full team built 6 levels deep across. Now, you are not limited to 3 people. You can recruit as many people onto your team as possible, and so it just compounds. So this is me here. I just told you I'd share a little bit more. Once I finished, I had my health issues and so forth. I ended up having to work at a job at the county. I worked as a veteran service officer for my county here in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I was stuck in a cubicle all day long, and I was at the mercy of that and some other corporations I worked for. I was at the mercy of their budget as to whether I was going to be able to make any additional income. If they didn't have money in the budget, I wasn't going to get a raise, and I didn't like that very much, so I was capped on my earnings. So what we did as my family, we changed our lives, and now I work for Top Agent Referral, very flexible. We moved to Costa Rica. This is me. This is my office right over there. I am still a Colorado resident. I still spend some time in Colorado, but I spend most of my time here in Costa Rica. You can see behind me. This is my office. This is where I work now. This is a much better environment for me. I get fresh air. I'm not stuck in a cubicle, and I have the flexibility of hours to be able to, if the surf's up, I can go surf and I can come back and take care of business once I get done. Or I can spend time helping my daughter with her school and come back and do business when I need to. And then also, I'm not capped on my earnings. If I want to make more money, I work more and I then generate more income, and I'm not capped by somebody else's budget. And so that's why I do this job, is the income potential, flexibility of hours, and just the pure joy of it, helping people. All right, so everyone knows people who are buying or selling a home. We talked about that earlier. There are 450,000 sales each and every single month, equaling $200 billion in commissions. Most people in the United States, that 200 million people between 18 and 64, want to earn extra income. And this is a way that they can do that. The opportunity we're offering is a website creation. You get your complete website built for you. It works out of the box. You don't need to do any programming, any web development, anything like that. It works. We give you the ability to earn an income in the real estate field, as well as to learn potentially a new industry, and the opportunity to change your future. So what I want to ask is, how much is this opportunity worth to you? And so I'm going to break it down a little bit here and hopefully get your mind thinking of what this opportunity is really like. So let's evaluate some things. How much would a website cost? I've built some websites for myself, very labor intensive, and I know how much that costs. How much does a real estate license cost? I've gotten that as well, and so I can speak to that. How much would it cost to open up a real estate brokerage? That's another thing. And then how much money is it? Oh, back to this. So let's look at those things. If you do it yourself or if it was built for you, you're looking at probably about $500 to $5,000. Depending on if it's online or classroom setting for your real estate license, you're looking, plus hanging it and so forth with an office, you're looking at $1,500 to $3,000 usually. And then to buy into a current existing brokerage, you're probably talking $500 to $100,000 depending on the brokerage and how successful they are. And so if you add all of that up, you're looking at $7,000 to $108,000 So what I would like you to put in the chat is how much do you think this opportunity is worth? So if I can hear from a couple of people, just put in the chat there. If you think the answer is 0, put in 0. I want you to be realistic. I don't want you to, just kind of be off the wall there. But how much do you think this opportunity is worth to be able to work in real estate with a complete functioning website that allows you to track your customers from the time they enter all the way to closing, as well as tracking your team sales, all of your override income, and all of that? I'm getting crickets. All right. Well, you're very quiet in the responses, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. And so here's how much you get paid for each of your payouts. So there's the, depending on the price of the home, there's a sliding scale from that $375 to $4,500. You may have saw that in the ad. And then for the passive income for your team members, you earn, for that first 6 levels, you earn $30 to $375. Plus there are bonuses of $50 to $200 for each first home connection. Now there's additional bonuses that come into play once you get past the 6 levels, but this just shows you once you build out your 6 levels, what that compensation looks like. So there is tremendous income potential in this business. The cost is normally $299. That is how much it costs the company to be able to develop your website and provide the system to you. However, right now they are doing a special where they are taking $200 off of that price. And so today you can get into this business for $99. That includes your full setup, your customized, personalized top agent referral website, all of the back office tools and tracking system, the training tools and scripts, as well as email campaigns are all included, new member training videos, and a guide on how to build this business step by step. Now, once you have all of that built, there is a service to continue maintaining your website. The hosting is included in that, as well as the back office tracking for your buyers and sellers and your team, and access to new updated training materials and our exclusive entrepreneur group. You can save considerable money by paying upfront. You can save 50% off with a 2-year subscription, and that brings it down to less than the cost of a pizza a month. You receive a fully functioning website and all access to the top real estate agents nationwide. So $238.80. If you take that and the $99, you can, for the cost of 2 years, you still would have that all paid for with one transaction. So at this time, it looks like we've lost a lot of people, but I'm down to a couple of you left. This business is part-time income, is perfect if you want part-time income. It's perfect if you want to build a fortune. If you thought about getting into real estate, it's perfect for that as well. Someone with no sales experience, perfect. It's not a high sales job. And if you've tried and failed at network marketing, perfect as well. This is a low sell opportunity as far as you don't have to push. It's a free, no obligation service. And so you don't have to be a huge, great salesman. And also the payout is much higher than if you were to sell a, $10 to $15 item. We simply offer a free service to our clients. There's no cap on earnings, flexible schedule, and you can work from anywhere, as I mentioned before. So at this time, I want to thank you for being on the webinar. And if I was not the one who invited you here, make sure you get back to the person who sent you here. However, if it was Luke who sent you here, make sure that you follow up with me because he's on vacation for the next 2 months. I'm sorry, not 2 months, 2 weeks. And so I'll be fielding his questions and so forth. And I just want to open it up to questions at this time. But before I do, you can sign up for another webinar if you want to take another look at this opportunity. You can just use the same link again. And I do provide training, additional training on top of what is provided by the company. I do weekly training with my team members every week through a webinar similar to this, and I get feedback and so forth. So any additional questions at this time? Okay, so we've got, by the way, I did put in the chat there, I put my contact information. It's on the slide here, but sometimes it's easier just to click on the link, so I put that in there. But let me go back here. So what do you provide? So do you provide leads? No. Okay. So do you offer training for marketing on Facebook? Okay, so great questions there. So number one, as far as providing leads, we do not provide leads. It is your responsibility to generate leads. However, we have a in-depth yet simple training process for lead creation. It does start with your circle of influence because that's where you have the most, we have the best conversion rate is with people we already have a relationship with. And so that's where the network marketing side of things comes into play. But if once you get beyond that, we have different methods of going about and marketing to people, such as social media, such as reaching for sale by owners, things along those lines, running ads. There's a number of different ways to generate leads, but most of it is going to be through your direct contact with people and the relationships that you create. As I mentioned, if you listen, if you start, now that you've been on this webinar and you start listening, you're probably going to start hearing more and more people who are talking about buying or selling a home. And so you just simply take those people and direct them to your website. And that's usually the most powerful way, more so than the other ways of marketing and lead generation. However, you can use other ones. As far as offering marketing for Facebook, we provide you marketing materials and so forth. However, we do not at this time get into actually running Facebook ads and things along those lines. We have some members who have that skill set already and they are successful at that, but I don't recommend it for the majority of people because it is pretty high level, and unless you do it right, you might as well just burn your money. Because it's kind of its whole own thing. But we do offer different training on how to go about getting leads. Any other questions? Hope that answered it. So to sign up, I gave you the link to my personal website there in the chat. All you need to do is go there. I'll also follow up with a link straight to an email with a link straight to it. But if you go to my website, scroll down to the bottom, you can click on the sign up form here. That'll take you right to the sign up form. You go ahead and you register there. You choose whether you want to do just the $99 special today, or whether you want to go ahead and add that 2-year subscription or the 1-year subscription. I highly recommend the 2-year subscription. If you do that, you save yourself a total of $440 if you do the 2-year subscription. So that's why, and you're good, you're set. You don't have to make any more payments for 2 years. Once again, one transaction at that $375 at the lowest level is going to pay for 2 years of your website and everything, your access to the system. So that's why I recommend, if at all possible, going with the 2-year subscription. But either way, you can choose to do the $99, and then in 30 days, you'd begin paying the $19.95 a month every month thereafter. Hopefully I've covered everything for you. It looks like I don't have any additional questions, so I'll be happy to, I'll probably be following up with you here shortly and getting your feedback and thoughts individually. Hopefully we can find a time to meet. And do we have to sign up today for the special? Okay, so the special is a limited time. It's based off of the number of people signing up. The company is in a position where they're trying to increase their sales force, and so right now it is open to the next 300 people is what they said when they released it, and now I know we are well over halfway there. I have 22 people on my team right now, my team alone, and I know there's several other people out there recruiting. So I can't tell you how long it's going to last. I can tell you it's available today. If you I'm not sure if I understand correctly, Jerome, but if you're asking if you're able to sign up at a later time, absolutely, you can sign up at any time you want. I just can't guarantee the $99 special. It may go up to that initial investment of $299, which is still a great price. I mean, you're still one transaction and you have more than covered the initial investment, but I just can't guarantee the $299. Offer the same special to our potential new members. Yes, right now until we get to 300 people, yes, you can offer it to. So if you have people that you can think of that might want to sign up on your team, might want to make some additional income in real estate, absolutely. I would strongly recommend getting them on a webinar as soon as possible and getting them in so that they can get that $99 special. Otherwise, they may end up, it may be back to that $299, of which is still, I mean, going back to this right here. $300 to begin a business like this is ridiculously low cost. Just the website alone and the power of it and the tracking. So I've built websites before, and most of them are at least $20 a month, just to build it yourself. And that's without all of the back end tracking for your clients, and that's without all of the back end tracking for your team sales. To add those components in, that increases the price. But yes, absolutely, the special would be great for your potential new team members as well. Jerome, you unmuted yourself. You got questions or comments? Well, I could hear you for a second, but I don't hear anything out of you. Oh, can I email you? Audio is not working. Absolutely, I can email you right away. I will go ahead and send you that link, and hopefully that'll get you set up. Or like I said, you can click on the VP.top agent referral.
This fucking piece of shit.
Oh, I can hear you now, Jerome. Maybe. Well, I did. And it went away again. All right. Is there something else you need me to email you other than the links to go ahead and sign up and so forth? Anything else you need me to email you? All right. Well, I will go ahead and get that email sent off to you. If you have any other questions, feel free to give me a call or send me a text, and I'll be happy to answer anything directly. And otherwise, have a great day, and thanks for being on the webinar.